Welcome to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We're here tonight at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and not only are we here with the Underdog Racing League, but we're going to be crowning a champion here tonight. Possibly, it's going to be a fantastic show. Well, not possibly so. We are going to be crowning a champion definitely here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and what a place to do it at, a great racing facility like this. But first, we need to give a shout out to Ultimate Siding and Gutter LLC, as they are the primary sponsor here at the Underdog Racing League. Our customers say we're the best in the business. We specialize in residential and commercial construction. We've been in business for over 15 years, and we only use the best materials and are dedicated to completing each project in a timely manner. There's nothing more important to have a house to call a home. Thank you to Ultimate Cider and Gun LLC, as they're the sponsor here at the Underdog Racing League here tonight. I am Zach Hall, and joined alongside me as always on Wednesday nights is Carl Pooler and our producer Robert Moyer Jr. up in the production box here tonight to crown a champion. 19 races we've run up to this point, but it's going to be one race for one champion right now. We got our points there. Trevor Earhart, 5 points ahead of Jason Finsler. Carl, what a night we got ahead of us. It's going to be fun to see who comes out of this on top.
Oh, this is going to be great. Las Vegas is a great track to have any kind of race, but a championship race makes it really exciting. Multi-groove racing, you have low line, high line, wherever you can get that car to stick, that's where you want to run. So it's going to be really fun to watch and see how these drivers jostle each other getting to that championship.
It's going to be definitely a show you do not want to miss here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We've had 19 up to this point, number 20 here tonight at the Underdog Racing League. And right now, practice is looking pretty interesting. Our points leader, Trevor Earhart, looking to pull off the underdog story possibly of the season here. Well, I was kind of bringing this up before the broadcast to the guys up here in the booth, ladies and gentlemen. If Trevor Earhart was able to pull this championship off here tonight and beat Jason Finsler, who's been the dominant guy, I'd say, here for the past 2 seasons, just racking up the wins, what an underdog story it would be for Trevor Earhart to come here in the playoffs and get this championship. But right now, he's fastest man in practice. He's definitely projected himself to look good here tonight.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, definitely issues for Finsler. He's sitting there, 8th, 9th there on the board, so definitely a little slower tonight. Trevor Earhart in that top spot, but followed closely by Dylan Walterman and Nick Alves. Nick Alves is only 37 points out, so if he can get some, a good stage points his first 2 stages, he actually may have a shot at it depending on where Trevor ends up. So this isn't over just between Jason and Finsler, although they are the favorites, but there's everyone else up behind them, not very far away, so it really is anyone's game, theoretically.
Theoretically, it is still. We got 5 drivers within 37 points. James Loveland there, Nick Alves, like you alluded to there, both tied for that 4th position in points. And then you also have Justice Murphy, 34 back there in 3rd in points. So we do have, I would say, at least 5 drivers that have a shot right now. Matt Job, 6th in points. He's 45 back. That's going to be, these drivers wouldn't have to start tonight pretty much for him to have a decent chance of this, or at least all drivers finish out of the top, 10 for the stages and out of there for the end of the race. So it's going to be tough for him to gain any points, but right now, definitely those top 2 are the closest. But, if something happens between those 2, Carl, that's not out of the realm. That's where someone like Justice Murphy, Nick Alves, or James Loveland can sneak in there.
Definitely, and so you want to push hard, you want to make sure you get as many points as you can, but you can't put yourself in a situation to take yourself out of the race. It's too important. If you have an issue early on, sometimes it's better just to wait and bide your time and maybe just take it easy in the next time around, and maybe those positions will come to you, but you don't want to get caught up in something either. Keeping your car clean, as always, will be huge for this race.
Huge factor that it is, my friend, as we roll into qualifying here. 5 minutes for these drivers to put down their best times. 2 laps available to them. We'll see who can put themselves up front here tonight, and that's going to be a good spot to start. Like we always allude to, this stage is always so ultra critical here at the Underdog Race League when it comes down to making those points, and you're going to have 2 of those stages here tonight, and starting up front will help that here is lap 30, that stage number 1, and then at lap 70. So those 2 points are going to be the points where drivers are going to be looking to gain whatever they can. You could possibly win the championship in those 2 stages.
Definitely. If Jason Finsler really has some bad 2 stages and Trevor Earhart wins them, that could really separate it, and there's no way Jason could possibly come back from that. So if it's played right, it could be won early, but I have a feeling Las Vegas, the way it races, it's going to be great racing all race long. I think we're going to be counting those points and keeping an eye on both those drivers all night long.
It's going to be fun to watch everybody do battle here for the final race of the season of this Xfinity Series. We were here last season in the trucks to close everything out. Jason Finsler was your champion. Tonight, we could see a new champion here for our 2nd season here at the Underdog Racing League. It's been a fun time up to this point. Right now, first times clicking through. Matt Job at the top of the board with Justice Murphy, our 3rd place man of points there, sitting 2nd on the board as he jumps a little bit quicker on his 2nd lap, but only the 2nd there as Job even improves his lap.
So these guys, these are playoff drivers that have in their sights a championship if they can play their cards right. Other people have issues. So this is really good for them. Seeing them go fast and start placing themselves up front early really helps solidify those points at the end of the stage and maybe keeping their nose clean for later on in the race.
Everybody out there in chat, make sure you check out our poll we got going on out there. Pick who you think is going to win the championship. We got our top 2 contenders in there as your picks, which Possibly we have 3 other drivers to make it, but it's gonna be a tall task for them, and, we'll have to see if that plays out from there as, one of those drivers is James Lovell. He pops himself up to 3rd on the board in the 56th position. Great qualifying time there from Jacob Sekrovich there to put himself up to 4th, but one thing I'm saying, Matt Job, he matched his time from practice. That's, pretty impressive.
Consistency is key, Zach. You know, sometimes it's better to be more consistent than fast and slow. So that's good to see. Maybe he has one of those cars that can sneak in, take some points away from the other 2 drivers.
Watching right now as Kevin Orlando Jr. makes his lap. He's 5th on the board, but as that happens, James Lovell crosses the line. He goes to the top of the board with a 30-45 there to take over that pole position from Matt Job here as we round through the last 2 minutes of our qualifying session. First lap for Jason Finsler, a 30-95 back in 14th position. We'll see if he can make up ground on that second lap, or does he hold back into position. As Trevor Earhart, our points leader, he'll be coming to take the green to start his lap this time.
And these guys are getting all that they can. I think there may be some strategy, maybe some play with the weather. You want to try and get as much grip as you can. I think it's possible that's why Trevor waited so long. But, man, this is going to be really close as he comes at it, too. You want to carry as much speed as you can down this back straightaway. It's, like I said, this track is so wide and so fun to race. You can really drive anywhere, and he's racing up there in 3 and 4. So definitely so many lanes you can run and get speed off these corners.
Here we see Earhart coming to the line. This is going to be his first time, taking the green flag for his lap here. So we coming around this time by to put a lap in. But, man, first lap was not great for Jason Finsler. Second lap, not great either. That's back to 12th for him. Could we be seeing those struggles we've seen from Chicagoland rear their ugly head here late into going into playoffs? We will have to see if that's something that plays out. But right now, Trevor Earhart coming to the line. Let's see what time he produces here. And he goes up to 6th on the board, 30-55. Not the greatest time for him, but definitely up front of his top title contender.
So, yeah, being in front is important, but there's, Matt Job, Ray Lane, Justice Murphy, all in front of him, all people looking for points. This is really interesting to see some of our top 2 drivers out of the top 5 in qualifying. This is going to be interesting to watch, and it'll be really fun to see it develop as the race progresses.
Yes, it will be 120 laps here tonight under lights at Vegas to crown a champion here at the Underdog Racing League. Qualifying has come to an end. James Loveland, one of our top 5 men in points, is on top of the board here in qualifying tonight as we'll look to bring up our qualifying results and see where your favorite drivers are starting their final race of the season. There it is, James Loveland starting from pole position. Second's going to go to Matt Job. Great qualifying time from him there. Third's going to be Ray Lane in the 44 machine. Fourth's going to go to Justice Murphy. Fifth going to be Jacob Sekrovich in the 3 machine. Sixth going to be the points leader Trevor Earhart. Seventh, Kevin Orlando Jr. Eighth, Dylan Walterman. Ninth is Nick Alves, and rounding out that top 10 is Cody Dorsey.
Starting in 11th is Eddie Wildermuth. We have 12th with Grant Thorpe. 13th, Jason Finsler, our second position points holder in the championship, so not a great qualify for him. Jake Williams in 14th, Justin Stunnard in 15th, Parker Johnson in 16th, Christopher Heights in 17th, and Scott Kerberg, he did not put it on a time, so he's going to start at the back of the pack in 18th.
That it is. There's our starting grid here tonight for the Underdog Racing League's season finale here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in. It's going to be a special night. Man, I always get super happy for crowning a champion, and man, we could see a new one here at the Underdog Racing League. But Jason Finsler, he said we got 120 laps to decide that. Starting back in the 13th spot, he's going to have a lot of work cut out for him.
He does, but we've seen it before. He started in the back before. He's had some bad qualified times. We've seen him run to the front, so there's a chance. There's no doubt about it. He has the talent. He has the car. That's great. But we can't count out Trevor Earhart. Didn't get a good qualified lap in, only 6. So both of these drivers going to have a tough time getting through this field. These first 2 stages are going to be critical as points are doled out to whoever 1 through 10. So it's going to be really interesting to see who gets the points and who doesn't.
Definitely will be here as we get ready to roll off of our grid here tonight. James Loveland, Justice Murphy, those 2 drivers sitting 3rd and 4th respectively in points, 34 back and 37 back. they're going to need definitely some help with Trevor Earhart and Jason Fensler not finishing in these stage points here tonight at Las Vegas. And we'll have to see if that's a factor. I mean, if it comes down to where, they get involved in something, these two are sitting in a good spot because they qualified very well to start off the night.
And that's always key. Clean air is definitely what you want, and starting out front, you don't have to worry about the dirty air behind you and not getting caught up in someone's mistakes, especially on these cold tires, sun setting over Vegas. So man, this is such a great atmosphere, great track for a championship race. And as the pace car goes down the back stretch, it's going to be fun to watch. And I think a lot of these drivers are just raring to go when they mash on the throttle.
That they are, and that we are. We're ready for all this action to start off here tonight at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway here at the Underdog Racing League. James Lovin going to lead us to the green flag. He was our last winner at 1.5 miles too at the Chicagoland Speedway, October 6th. It's been a long time since we've had some 1.5 mile racing, but we are here tonight ready to do battle. Pace car going to take the hard left-hand turn down the pit road, and we're going to look to Barney, the flagman, ready to wave the green flag to start off tonight here at Las Vegas. Green flag is in the air. Loveland off and away is Matt Job. Not a great start for him, but right lane taking advantage of that.
James Loveland got a great start on the green flag. He was able to get out there all alone into turn one. He can take his line as they are side by side with Ray Lane and Matt Job in second and third. Looks like Ray Lane is going to the inside, going to make that pass on Job, as Job looks like he might have had to get out of the throttle there a little bit. So Justice Murphy making the inside move into turn three.
Everybody looking for a lane as James Loveland tries to run away. Everybody sliding in front of each other as Justice Murphy holds on to third. Right now, Trevor Earhart, our points leader, trying to take position from Job. Yes, he will. He'll be fourth as we head down to one.
And that is, as he washes up, going into one, nearly gets into the 89 of Job. Had a really close moment there as the 99 of Dylan Walterman gets right behind him. So none of these drivers really comfortable at the moment as he finally makes the pass on Job going into three. But Dylan Walterman trying to make a move on the inside of our championship leader, the number 25, coming out of four. So crossing the finish line, though, looks like Trevor Earhart will hold that fourth position.
And here he comes to the back bumper of the 9 of Justice Murphy. Going to look to the inside here quickly, trying to get positions. I think he wants to put the stage points in between him and Jason Fensler. Here is lap 3 already. This race is getting wild. As you can see back here, there he is, Jason Fensler, up to the 8th position. Already making a pass on Brent Thorpe there as you got Nick Alves directly at him here off of 4. Jason Fensler trying not to let that 25 get too far out there.
And he's doing a good job. It looks like all those top, from 5th on back, really tight, side by side, going into one. Trevor Earhart, it looks like Justice Murphy there got a little close to our championship leader, but Justice Murphy into the wall, coming at it too as they all fan out, trying to avoid him. That is not good for the rest of this race. Looks like Matt Job, Jason Fensler all right there. So once again, Fensler and Trevor Earhart only a couple of cars away from each other. So already this is racing really good. These guys are really fighting for every position.
Things are definitely looking a lot better here in this race session than qualifying and practice. Able to work his safe up. Now looking for the 5th position, but here comes Walterman in 99. He's not battling for a championship, but he's battling for everything here tonight on the racetrack. And he's going to go to the inside of Fensler, who's going to slide up behind Justice Murphy. Murphy into that wall earlier. That's really going to suffer his right front here, and he's going to have to definitely want to get that fixed early to go. But 6 laps in, Jason Fensler already trying to make his way up through to the 7th position as Trevor Earhart's now worked his way up to 3rd.
And Trevor Earhart's just pulling further and further away from Jason as Jason is kind of stuck behind that 9 and the 99. We do know Justice Murphy is a little injured, and it looks like his pace is down just a little bit. So it looks like the 5's going to try the outside line, but still can't make it around those 2 cars. But looks like Trevor Earhart made the pass around Job, so here we go down the front stretch. A lot of these cars jostling for position as the 33 to Stunnard gets up on Fensler's tail there. So it looks like things are calming down, and they're kind of lining out, and everyone's picking their line.
Yeah, everybody trying to find a line here. That's one good thing about Las Vegas. You definitely got multiple grooves to work with as Fensler trying to make the move on the 9 machine. of Justice Murphy down here in the 3 and 4. He goes to the bottom lane looking for the grip around the white line. He will clear the 9 off of 4 up to the 6th position. Now he goes as Grant Thorpe behind, battles with the 33 of Justice Stunner with Nick Alves trying to follow through.
And all these drivers with the pink spoilies, they are playoff drivers, so they're all fighting for points. It's not a given at this point, so all these racers are racing clean, racing really hard, but fair with each other. So it's good to see these guys kind of organized. But only 8 laps into a run, 8 laps into this race. The stage break is at 30. I think these guys are going to probably stay pretty calm for at least for the majority of the stage. And the track seems wide enough and enough grip. So this is going to be a fun run as these guys get settled in and really running around each other. Looks like we see the 33 in front there. So everyone not really getting really far away and staying close together. So this is really fun racing to watch.
Great racing all around this track. Here comes the run from Nick Alves. Look at the outside. Just there, he closes the door at the last second, but up ahead you can see a couple cars ahead. That is the points leader, Trevor Earhart, up there battling with the 99 of Dylan Walterman, who's trying to make his move on the inside line. He started in the 8th position trying to take 3rd, but just could not make it work there. But he's been pretty strong down here in 1 and 2, driving that outer groove. I'm just gonna have to worry about that right front sticking around for how long or how deep he's driving it into 1.
And definitely, you put more pressure on the right front. Where's that tire more? And that's where most of the work is done on these cars. So you really want to try and preserve that as long as you can. But Dylan Walterman is really kind of flying through the field at this point. Started 8th and found himself in a good spot in 4th with looks like the 89 behind him. So he's kind of moved through the field himself, not in the playoffs, but definitely a win is a win, and we all race for it.
And while all that happened, Grant Thorpe got into the wall off a 2 in the 77 machine, getting into that wall, bouncing off of it, and Eddie Woodruff, nowhere to go, runs into the back of him. You can see the damage to both of those cars now as they are back here 16th and 7th at the tail end of the lead lap here, as now Grant slides back to that position of 17th.
And that's just bad luck. That's the second incident we've seen coming out of 2, so I think there's a little trick to 2 that some of these guys are struggling to nail down. But definitely everyone's trying to keep it out of each other, I guess, and not bump each other's too much. But getting out of the wall, there's really nothing you can do, and the wall doesn't move, Zach, so y'all got to be careful of that.
Yeah, that wall definitely does not move. That is for sure. As we look now back here in position of the 33 of Justin Stunner, directly ahead of him, that's Jake Williams in the 40 with the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr. there. This is from the 10th position on back, and look, now Dorsey trying to make the move on Stunner here. Stunner was moving forward, now seems to be moving backwards as he drove up from, that 15th starting position all the way to the top 10. And I think those tires are starting to feel the brunt of that drive up through it.
Definitely, tires do wear out here, even though it is multi-groove. They do kind of, like you said, especially trying to stick it on the inside for long periods of time, really heats up that tire and really wears it out. So, of course, the inside line is the shortest way around the track, but it is the hardest on your tires. So you got to keep that in mind as you make these passes on these starts and not be overly aggressive and just try and get that tire to last the rest of the run.
Well, as this run has continued on, the cream has rise to the top as it looks like Trevor Earhart up to 3rd from where he worked his way up, but Jason Finsler not too far behind in the 4th position. Last time by, Earhart was faster on the stopwatch, but we'll see as he crosses the line this time. 31.71 for Trevor Earhart, a 31.68 for Jason Finsler. So it looks like Finsler a couple hundredths quicker. We'll see if he can close this down here. Remember, lap 30 is stage number 1, lap 70 stage number 2. If they can get points in between them or gain points on each other, it's going to be critical coming down to the end of this race.
Oh, definitely. And now there was 5 points between them and only 1 spot separating them. Even with the stage, it's still only 6 points separating them. So it's not going to get any easier with both of these guys really starting to make their way through the front after a rough qualifying session. James Loveland out in front, second ahead of Ray Lane. Looks like Ray Lane has a 1.1, 1.2 lead on Trevor Earhart. So these guys are all fanning out. But definitely the stage and at lap 30 is going to be interesting. Brings all these guys together, and those guys will probably be side by side or maybe front to back. So once again, up to the front, battling for position. The stage is really going to shake things up when we get there.
That it will. Last time by, Earhart was quicker and then that 5 machine, and that time Fensler just a little bit quicker. So kind of trading lap times back and forth between our top 2 points drivers. But this, it is only 1 point, but that 1 point can be critical. 5 points separates first place from second place in race points. That's what separated these drivers coming in tonight. If Earhart can get that up to 6, he can finish technically in that second position as long as he leads a lap, and he will be the champion by 1 point. So that 1 point there could come back to be that race decider, but that next stage also going to be critical too. Points, every single point matters though. That's the one thing about this race. You cannot give up one and be happy with it.
Oh, especially not. And here we are, last race of the season championship race, and we're still talking about points. So this has been some just outstanding driving and outstanding racing all season long. These points race has really been close, really the last half of the season. So really seeing these guys being able to race it out and having to race it out at Las Vegas is just perfect. And so as we watch Circovich go into turn 1, man, all these drivers staying side by side and on each other. But it looks like Nick Alves is trying to make the move on the 9 of Justice Murphy. We know Justice Murphy did tap the outer wall of turn 2 a little earlier, but it seems to have recovered from that as Nick Alves is trying to find a way around that number 9 machine.
Yeah, Alves trying to work his way by here and get up into that 6th position. He was about a 10th quicker than the 9 machine last time by, as he'll get closer and closer. But the closer you get, the harder it gets to follow as you lose the downforce on the front end of the nose here, especially Las Vegas 1 and 2 there. You can see very bumpy on the bottom. You want to try to get the clean air on the nose, but those bumps tend to make that car understeer up towards the wall, and that's where you lose the speed. But right now, Alves doing everything in his power to try to close down this 9, who got into the wall, has a little bit of damage. He's done a great job, though, to recover here in that 6th position.
Indefinitely, but it looks like we have the gap between really 1 and 4th is starting to decrease a little bit. We see Jason Fensler kind of gain on Trevor Earhart a little bit. Trevor Earhart gaining on Ray Lane, but Ray Lane was able to gain about 4/10 in the past couple of laps. So wondering if these tires are starting to show themselves, and maybe Ray Lane saved them a little bit better as we see him go around that high side. So we know that high side, maybe less wear on the tire, you can carry that momentum the long way around the track, but seems to be working for him right now.
Yeah, finding grip, and definitely spots that James Loveland is not Loveland sticking to that bottom lane here in 1 and in 3 and 4. Maybe he'll have to go up there and try. But another driver using that was Jason Fensler, but Ray Lane, the driver using it the best. But I tell you, the fastest car on the racetrack last time by was Trevor Earhart, so he could be closing it down here too. The 25, if he can get out here and just win this race, then he doesn't have to worry about points. That's one thing you can't do. If you go out here and win, you will be the champion if you're Jason Fensler or Trevor Earhart.
And definitely that's the overall goal. And like I said, they seem to have the speed. They didn't qualify good, but this stage break coming in about 7 or so laps is going to be really interesting. Going to shake up the field a little bit and get them all back together, get these guys racing side by side. So the points race continues on, and any one of these guys could win it by winning the race. So everyone riding hard as we're riding along here outside wall coming out of 4 there. You can see little bit of steering input on the steering wheel, but not too bad. So pretty even and pretty easy on that steering wheel at the moment.
Definitely the key to keeping those tires underneath you. Don't use too much of that steering wheel to go fast. And right now, Lane closing the gap down ever so slightly. Same with the 25 of Trevor Earhart, as Lane again goes up here to the wall. This line just so nice, finding the clean air and then getting the nice big run down the front straightaway.
And he is definitely working that throttle, because he is now, what, 0.6 of a second back from where he was about 5 laps ago. So he has found something in that high line, and he is using it to his advantage as he looks like he goes down to the low line, maybe draft the 56 of Loveland there in 1 and 2. But the 25 right behind him, not out of it either. He's gained a 10th or 2 in the last couple of laps. So I think the tires for Loveland may have fallen off a little bit, and he's going to be hanging on for that stage win here in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, the big question is, does Loveland try to take the lane away? Is Ray Lane setting him up for that? You know, if Loveland tries to take the lane away, if he can make the bottom work, he goes straight to the bottom. Loveland doesn't understand the top yet, hasn't had the laps around there to fill it out. He could be the one looking to lose spots here, but man, I'm telling you what, it's coming down to lap 30 for the end of this stage. It's going to be 4 to go when they cross the line. Ray Lane closing the gap down, trying to win here in the season finale as him and James Loveland battling out front.
He is inching his way ever so slowly forward as he once again another lap, another 10th off. So he's not quite done. He has a couple more laps. So if you got whatever you got, now's the time to push it. If you saved it, now's the time to use it. And it looks like Ray Lane is using all of that he saved.
Ray Lane closing it down here, using a little bit of a different line here to the 56 of James Loveland to close this gap. It's been a great race here so far through the first 27 laps. It's going to be 3 to go here in stage number 1. Ray Lane ripping the wall, James Loveland ripping the white line. I love to see it. That's one of the things here iRacing that we love to see, multiple crews making speed.
And once again, Las Vegas never fails to disappoint. It looks like Loveland starts out mid lane, comes onto the bottom. Ray Lane right now really mirroring James Loveland, which is interesting. He was getting all that speed on the high side, so I wonder if he's starting them up for a pass. But with only a couple to go, we're going to cross the line here, so we want to go on the stage. So if Ray Lane's got a plan, he's got to do it and do it now.
They're going to have to quickly get it done here. 2 to go in stage number 1. James Loveland has led us from start to finish of this stage. We'll see if he can hold on just for 2 more laps. Ray Lane going to elect to take the outside lane here in 1 and 2, see if it makes lap time here around here. But I tell you what, the driver really making the gap close down. That's the 25. He's closing into the picture here as they're going to be looking to take the white flag here for stage number 1. Trevor Earhart, though, going to be crucially scoring 1 more point than that number 5 car, Jason Fensler, here in the 3rd position. White flag is out for stage number 1. James Loveland looking to hold on while Trevor Earhart running in 3rd ahead of Jason Fensler in the 4th position.
And 1 point, like you mentioned, Zach, it's not a lot, but it can be enough. You never know what can happen in the next stage, and every point you can get is just 1 more bit of cushion that you can use if necessary. You don't want to use it, but it's good to have. As we come going to 3, coming out of 4, coming to the green and checkered flag, we should see caution come out here as the leader crosses the start-finish line. Looks like the 33 is Stunner, I think that is. That pit a little early, maybe. That's interesting to see him, but we should see the caution come out due to the stage, and 56 of James Loveland should have that stage win.
That he will. Caution is now out on the racetrack, and we are going to get our stage break in here tonight. Man, what a start to this event. James Loveland able to win stage number 1. Oh, we cannot wait for the rest of this to play out. Everybody, make sure you don't tune away. We're going to go to a quick commercial break up here at Freaky Fast Broadcast, and we'll be back here before the start of stage 2. Welcome back, everybody, here to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. I'm Zach Hall up in the booth. Joined alongside me is Carl Puller. And as always, we have our producer, Robert Moyer Jr. up in the broadcast booth. What a night it's been so far. We're getting ready to go back green flag race. I think they've had some issues here with the way the restart is going to play out, but we're going to get lined back up here. His loved one's going to lead us back to green. Trevor Earhart down the outside 5, and Jason Finsler right there on his door. This is going to be a critical phase here for the 5 to get around the 25.
Oh, definitely, and getting that one extra spot gets him point, bringing back down to 5 at this stage, but that's about 35 laps away from here. So right now, as Jason Finsler making that move on the inside of our championship leader, Trevor Earhart, chasing down that 56. James Loveland's been able to keep in front all race so far. He seems like he's led every lap. So here we are, our championship drivers in 2nd and 3rd, and that's another race in between points there. So this is definitely huge. All these drivers put together in the front of the field at the moment.
Well, I tell you what, this is a critical phase here, but Trevor Earhart cannot let this get too much to his head here as the 5 trying to make a dive on the 56. I think he's got some good short run speed, but just it seemed like on that longer run there, he kind of, stagnated compared to the 25 who was going forward on our 2 leaders. Now, the 25 can't get too antsy here and burn his tires up trying to keep up with the 5. I think this stage being a little bit longer, he could get back around that 5 even though he's behind him now.
Oh, definitely. Jason, we saw him try and heat up those tires, go to the inside of James Loveland there earlier. He's really on the tail of him now. Jason Finsler had to come from 13th, so we know that probably had a lot to do with it. He's probably really hard on those tires. So as he's doing right now, so maybe Trevor Earhart just kind of sitting back, watching how this plays out, saving his tires, and not doing anything too radical to put that championship into question at the moment.
I think you're exactly right. Right here, you let the 2 out front burn their stuff up, race hard. You can charge back when you have the stuff to battle with them here. Finsler tried everything in his arsenal. Now going to get to the outside. That's telling me he's really driving that car in deep, able to drive through the outside quarter panel of that 56, able to drive. It looks like now here side by side into 3, the bottom lane, the preferred group here early in the going, but it's going to be that top lane getting the run off here as they continue to race side by side. Loveland did a great job to get a great run from the bottom.
Oh, definitely. And there's a 5 still on the door panel of the 56, not letting him go by. These guys are really, really duking it out here for first place as Trevor Earhart just kind of sitting there in 3rd. Really has a front row seat to all this, but looks like Jason Finsler finally makes a pass on the 56. But again, how much damage did that do to the tires, and how long before the Trevor Earhart possibly makes that run creeping up forward?
We'll have to see. I mean, we've seen Jason Finsler once he gets the clean air. At some points, he is so tough to get it back out of his grasp. But now the big thing we got to know, the 25 gains a point on the 5 machine there. But, oh, wow, here comes the 56 with a great dive to the bottom. Oh, I think Finsler just wanted to lead the lap. Now he's going to go in conserve mode because that's the one thing I was about to point out to everybody here. He just led a lap, got himself a bonus point there. Now that first stage is nullified. It is even between the 25 and the 5 when it comes to points during this race. And now he's one up on him if this stage was to come to a conclusion in this result. So right there, Finsler with a great move to be able to get that lap led. But I tell you what, maybe had to use a little more tire than he wanted to.
Definitely a bizarre and interesting move. I didn't even think of that. You know, that's some interesting strategy on the track. One way to gamble, you know, here in Vegas, you know, just get that stage and maybe save your stuff. So definitely interesting strategy being played by the 5 of Jason Fensler, trying to keep the 25 of Trevor Earhart in his sights and points for the championship run.
Also, can't forget James Loveland out front. That is a teammate to the 25 of Trevor Earhart. Those two are definitely good buddies. I would say if it come down to the end, the 56 is probably going to hold the 5 up a little more than he tries to hold the 25 up. So he can at least have that in his back pocket. He will have somewhat of a blocker, as they say.
Definitely, but look at this. We have the 33 past the 21, Christopher Heiss. Christopher Heiss, a playoff driver, not really in the championship hopes, but still trying to gain points. We saw the 33 maybe have some issues earlier on in the first stage, but he has made his way up, so into the top 10. So good race for him at the moment, as we see the 24 Nick Alves in front of him. But this battle for second is heating up as the 25 of Trevor Earhart on the bumper, Jason Fensler coming out of 4. So this is definitely interesting. Maybe Fensler did use up too much of his stuff on those first 2 laps as Trevor Earhart goes to the outside. We know he's fast on the outside, but here we go, going into 1. They are 1, 2, and 3. Trevor Earhart taking the middle line, now coming down low to get behind Jason Fensler to get that toe in the slipstream. So as he goes down the backstretch, able to gain on him, makes his move to the inside, going into 3 side by side. Trevor Earhart on the inside of turn 3, coming out of turn 4. They are still side by side, crossing the start finish line. Wow, they are still neck and neck, but it looks like Trevor Earhart will take the second spot for that lap as they dive into 2 once again. Into 1 inside, but looks like Jason Fensler staying strong on the outside, so no one willing to give an inch as Trevor Earhart creeps up there on the backstretch.
Man, oh man, Trevor Earhart doing such a great job. I think this is going to be the corner that he wants to get it done. Down into 3. Trevor Earhart back to the second position, clears the 5. And I tell you what, Fensler, he tried to make it hard. He did everything in his power there to try to get it done. Now the 25, if I'm the 25, I got to go up here and get me a lap lead also. I got to go ahead and, you know, take that out the way when it comes to the 5, but you can't use too much tire. He was the quickest car at the end of the last run. If he can just keep that same pace and mentality up, he'll be looking good as his teammate up front, Loveland, almost into the wall. What a wild race here so far in stage 2.
Oh, definitely. All 4 of the top 4 cars, all playoff drivers, all kind of in the top 4 in the playoff standings. I don't think James Loveland there, but still, all racing really hard with each other, really clean as Jason Fensler starts to fall back from the 25. 25 gaining on James Loveland. They're going to the outside of 2. So definitely some interesting things happening with the front of the field as this run goes along.
You know, one thing we also cannot forget, you know, they made it that first stage 30 laps. But this is a 65% fuel load. They're going to have to make it 35 for this next stage. I think they'll be able to easily do it. But the question is, you know, can they get it done, you know, to that point? We'll have to see. I think it'll be doable here to get to lap 70. But there it is. Trevor Earhart out front takes the lead from his teammate of James Loveland, now set and sail. He's got himself a bonus point. Maybe Fensler, he's under attack from Ray Lane. This is actually playing out worse for Jason Fensler than he thought it would have.
And definitely, because now there's 2 positions separating Earhart and Fensler, and if Fensler loses this spot, that'll be 3 positions separating himself with Trevor Earhart, and that's just that many more points that Trevor Earhart will increase that gap as this night goes along. As we come to lap 49, remember the stage break is at lap 70, so we still have a little bit of time left. There is still some racing that needs to be had, but definitely issues for Fensler here in the longer part of the run.
Yeah, Ray Lane giving him pressure in the 44. We've seen how impressive Ray Lane was, too, at the end of last run. He was quicker than our leader, James Loveland, during that portion. So maybe we could see him put the pressure on Fensler here as it's all closing back up as Earhart took the lead. Hasn't got away from Loveland. It's kind of actually closed the gap back down to Fensler as I think, you know, Earhart out front. He's trying not to run too hard, though. This is such a game of cat and mouse for these guys. You're going to be looking at 20 to go next time by here for the stage. But again, it's so cat and mouse with the tires. You know, one guy goes, "Oh, I got to lead a lap. I'm going to use some tire here." But then the guy goes, "I want to lead a lap here." It's just pick and choose when you want to use those tires. It's all coming back together now, though.
And then definitely you mentioned fuel. Will it be enough? We don't know. You can save a little bit on mile and a half. Just let up on that throttle just a little bit earlier into the corner, but that can wear the tire a little bit. Going to the inside line and maybe cutting that down, track distance down a little bit. But here we are. It looks like all the top 5 in a string, back to back to back, going down the backstretch. James Loveland just kind of pacing himself out with Trevor Earhart, but Jason Fenns are right behind Loveland. So no one really pulling away with this run. So all these guys racing really clean, but racing really close.
Definitely a lot of close battling going on. Now we got to think how this would play out. How are points going to shake up from this? We've already seen a 1 net point gain from Trevor Earhart. He has now got that gap between him and the 5 machine of 6 points. If it was to finish this way, first and third in the stage, he gained another 2 to put him 8 up. He can then therefore finish in the 3rd position and still win the championship with a Jason Fensler win. We'll have to see how it all plays out, but as all that happened, Ray Lane makes the pass on Fensler. That sets him back to 4th. That gives even more points. Now, if it was the finish this way, it'd be a 9-point gap between our top 2.
And Ray Lane, another one of those fast cars. I think he lost a couple spots on that last pit stop, but back up in the top 3. James Loveland not giving any breathing room to the 25. They are teammates, but it looks like they're going to race each other for the win. The 48 at Parker Johnston, interesting up there in the top 5. So looking to attack and maybe pass Jason Fensler. So that would be another position, another point in the playoff standings, in the championship standings. So Jason Fensler, maybe some red flags are going off. Maybe he has to change his strategy. Think of something to do as Parker Johnson looks at the inside going into 1.
This very well could be him struggling. Is it him saving fuel too? We don't know if the fuel works. We're definitely questioning things up here in the booth as the 5 has got pressure from the 48 at Johnson. And the reason I say that is because everybody's so stacked up this run. We're not seeing a lot of separation like we did in the first run of this race. Right now, everybody in the top 5 all stacked up as Johnston trying to make the move. He's drove from 16th to 5th now, trying to take the 4th spot here. He's on rails right now, and that's why I think personally this has got to be fuel saving from these front guys.
You would think so, but there's Trevor Earhart, 100% going into the corner, 100% going out of the corner. I don't think he's really letting off as Parker Johnson looks to make a move on the 44 of Ray Lane. So the 48 really rolling the bottom of the corner and having a lot of speed coming out. He is on a mission right now. So question of saving still in the air. Parker Johnson not in the playoffs, but he definitely wants the race win, just like all these other drivers, as he starts hunting down the 56 of Loveland, going to the inside, going into 1. Is he going to make a move on the leader and our championship winner or leader as well? 25 looks like he will get on the inside. Not enough speed to get to the door, but here we go. Going into 3, looks like the 25 may just kind of give that position up, man. 48 shot out of a cannon. Started 16th, now leading the race.
Yeah, and looking at these lap times, they are definitely saving fuel. We are only 20 laps into the run compared to last time, 30 laps into the run. We are upwards of a second slower. We're running 33.40s when we were running 32.40s at the end of a 30-lap run. These guys right now backing up big time, as you can even see Walterman, Stunnard, multiple drivers driving up into this battle, as I think some drivers have said, yeah, I'm just going to go full bore and not save no fuel. I think the front 4 were kind of caught off guard and said, oh, man, we got to start saving here. Right now, though, Parker Johnston out front utilizing this fuel saving to get him the lead.
But you can only save so much, Zach. So, I mean, where do you not save and where do you have to save and push? And, man, this is really hard to determine here as Dylan Walterman passed the 44 of Ray Lane. Also, being in the draft, you can save a little bit. You don't have to push the throttle down so hard to maintain speed. So, all these cars really trying to save that fuel. With as much as they've fallen off on the pace, they must, like you said, got caught off guard and are really into save mode because they were pushing really hard in the first 10 or so laps of this run.
Yeah, and the biggest thing they're doing to save fuel, the biggest thing they can do is use a little bit of draft, but the biggest thing is rolling out of that throttle, really letting the car coast through these corners and not really over driving the car here. They're not utilizing the full speed. Yeah, the lap times are just really, really slow for a few guys. I think You know, maybe Walterman, maybe Johnson, did they top off? Did they come down, do something like that? Did they save enough fuel under the caution? You know, did the other guys even worry about saving fuel under caution? You can do multiple things that up your competition on your caution, on the fuel mileage. So we'll have to see. Maybe Johnston and Walterman, they feel comfortable. That's why they're pushing.
Yeah, and it looks like the 99 of Walterman is a lap down, so I think he did possibly come get a pit stop, get some tires, get some fuel, but definitely has the speed. While Parker Johnson in front does not look like he's done anything special, so he's just driven up. So all these cars, all our league cars, championship cars, under attack on a fuel-save strategy. Hope to finish the stage 2, but at the same time, as if you're Jason Fenster, you can't save too much. He's in 5th, yes, but there's a gaggle of cars behind him. He falls too much further back. He may find himself out of the top 10 and out of points, period.
No, you're very right about that. I mean, it's definitely getting to tire modes here, you know. At this point, it's, you know, if you don't save enough here and you don't make it to the end of the stage, you're going to be in big trouble here. You know, come by 61 here, it's going to be 9 to go in the stage. It's going to be very close. Even Fensler now passing Earhart. This is definitely not good that this is going to play out like this with this fuel. This is going to shake a lot of things up with the fuel mileage.
Man, I don't know how these other drivers are doing it though. So it's crazy to see a lot of these drivers gambling. Parker Johnson just wanted to go 100%, get the lead, get the stage win. Other of these guys maybe folding a little bit on the stage, trying to save fuel. So will this? Oh, the 21, I'm getting word from our producer, Robert Moyer, shutting the engine off to save fuel. So that is a huge fuel save mode for the 21 of Christopher Heights. So I wonder if some of these other drivers, like the 48 of Parker Johnston, I wonder if he's thinking about maybe undercutting the stage, hitting a couple laps before, that maybe as the pit cycles through during the stage, he can get back in front. Man, there's a lot going on all of a sudden at Vegas tonight for a championship race.
Yeah, a lot transpired for sure. Right now, just riding on board with a few of these guys, it's big fuel save right now. Not even full throttle on the straights, running partial throttle for a lot of these guys out here. Trevor Earhart's the one I'm riding on. As we jump over with him, and you're going to hear from Trevor. He's just very easy on the gas and nowhere near full throttle on these exits.
And he's down there in 4th. Not too bad, but looks like our number 5 of Jason Fensler. Let's see, he has fallen way back. Oh, he's up there in 3rd. So a lot of these guys doing some different things. Maybe, it is really hard to see what's going on, because that definitely shakes the points a little more. Man, it's hard to say. The 24 Nick Alves behind Justice Murphy. It's hard to say what's going on and how these drivers are. I'm a little confused. Zach, how about yourself?
Yeah, it's definitely confusing right now for these guys, and also up here in the booth. You know, it's going to be coming to 5 to go here. The big question in my mind right now, it's 9/10 back to James Loveland with Parker Johnson out front. I don't know if Johnston's going to have enough. Johnston hits pit road there with 5 to go, so that tells me it's going to be really hard for these guys to make it. If you don't think you're going to make it, you need to pit as soon as possible to be ahead of your rivals. But right now, everybody trying to do what they can here. As you can check it out, as this is an intense moment. You can use yourself a ButtKicker so you can feel what you've been missing. Make sure you head on over to ButtKicker.com. Use our promo code FreakyFast20 to get 20% off of any purchase there at ButtKicker.com. As we ride on board, man, what a wild moment there. ButtKicker definitely would help out in that. This is almost make contact off of Ford Murphy going around the 5 of Jason Fensler. There goes Christopher Heights. It's Trevor Earhart. Jason Fensler falling back, but right now Fensler ahead of Earhart. That's going to give him 1 point up on him.
And Trevor Earhart's in danger of going another position down of Matt Job. So once again, shaken up. Here we are. Matt Job, the 89, makes the pass on 25. Justin Stunner, the 33, followed by Kevin Orlando Jr. They are all pushing hard. He is going to be scratching and clawing for those points. He is slowly falling back 6th, possibly 7th and 8th as they go to 3 wide. Going into 1, he is in max save right now. 33 looks like he decided to pull out of that, but rearing back, coming back from the pass. But the 25 in trouble on points on this stage. We are getting really close here to maybe popping out of that top 10.
It's going to be coming to 2 to go. Here comes Justin Stunner by in the 33 on the 25. This is big points lost, but Murphy takes the lead out front. The 9 machine on James Loveland. Did he save enough? He was farther back. Another with the 21 of heights. He's about to go around Loveland. Now Fensler, he's in jeopardy of the 89 of Job going around him. Multiple guys, I think, who are riding farther back, saved a little more fuel. We're a little more methodical about this, as we're going to be soon here coming to the white flag for stage number 2. What a wild stage it has been so far. Justice Murphy, he's going to round out of 3 and 4 here, and he's going to look up, see the white flag for stage number 2 here tonight for the Underdog Racing League. What drama we've seen. Do you have enough fuel to make it back? We'll see this time. Murphy, though, in control.
Murphy in control, but Fensler back there in 5th. He was under attack by Matt Job. We've seen our points leader, Trevor Earhart, he has fallen back. He has been passed. He has been back to 8th, so definitely issues with points. So Fensler's gonna look to make a huge chunk out of the point standings come the end of this stage, as we see Barney come out with the hopefully the yellow flag here soon as we conclude lap 70. There it is, the second caution, stage number 2 over. Interesting strategy. Fuel save, looks like these drivers have enough fuel to make it, but Trevor Earhart really had to fall back there and losing a lot of points to Jason Fensler.
Well, now the big thing is you got to go a whole nother lap around who's going to have the fuel to make it, because if you come down this time here, it's a closed pit, and I'm telling you, there's going to be some worried drivers who, if they didn't save about a half an extra lap, they're going to have to be hitting pit road as everybody passes by. Justin Stunner is one who does hit pit road there. He doesn't feel confident about making it around. I think there's going to be a few guys worried about this.
Oh, Jason Fensler, Trevor Earhart, among those. Definitely going to be some issues trying to keep these things running and pacing. And without that penalty, you don't want to, pit too early and go EOL and be in front the entire race. So definitely don't want to do that, especially during championship race. So definitely looking to start and get pit and fueled up and ready for this next run. But the next stage is going to be really interesting. We've seen a lot of green flag run. In fact, the only 2 cautions we've had has been for the stage break. So they're definitely going to have to make a green flag pit stop in the middle of the stage. So that's going to be definitely huge, as pit lane is open and the 9 of Justice Murphy leads him down pit lane.
Here they all come down after the end of stage number 2 here. Justice Murphy with the win. Oh, what a wild stage that was with fuel drama. We're going to head to our final commercial break of the night here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We'll be back here and get ready to crown a champion here in the final Into the Run.
to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Maconi Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Maconi Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Maconi Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MaconiSetupShop.com and learn why Maconi Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
All right, we're back here, everybody, here at the Underdog Racing League, here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the season finale. 2 points separate our top two in the championship here tonight. Trevor Hart and Jason Finsler. There we go, guys. They finally so many different names, but man, it's definitely a huge night here for some driver to be able to win a championship. We're gonna see who can get it done. It's gonna be a run down to the end here. 120 laps is gonna solidify tonight's champion. Justice Murphy, though, the winner from that stage. He was the closest man in third there, 34 points back. It's still gonna be a tall task for him. He's gonna need some big help with the 5 and 25 as the pace car hits pit road. Green flag is back out in the air as Justice Murphy takes off with a great start. Finsler, not the greatest start for him, but it's going to be Trevor Earhart, the one that's going to be looking to get up there closest to him as he's stuck in traffic.
Trevor has a huge task ahead of him. He started there in 7th. After the restart, but he's already making up some ground. Got around the 21 of Christopher Heights, ahead of the 24, Nick Alves, moving down the back straightaway. Looks like the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr. in front of him, so he's already made up some spots. But Jason Finsler didn't get the greatest restart. Looks like James Loveland might have slowed him up there a little bit. But Justice Murphy with a great restart there, getting us to the front. And here we are, Green Flag Racing, Matt Job in the 89 there in 4th. So he's done really good for himself. He started up there as well. So all these drivers kind of shuffled through on that last restart. But here we go, Green, and we know, just the 9 to Justice Murphy into the wall. That's not good for him. We've seen him have issues with that turn 2 wall before, so this would be interesting. Is the 89 getting on the bumper of Finsler as we watch Justice Murphy just keep getting past. That's the 44 of Ray Lane underneath him now. We got the 25, our championship leader, passing Nick Alves. Looks like he can get on that bumper, so that car really damaged on that scuff on the outside wall.
Again, that's the second time he's gotten to the wall here tonight. Justice Murphy out front, getting into that wall, trying to hold off James Loveland, who now is trying to set sail on the 5 of Jason Finsler, Matt Joe back in 3rd, Kevin Orlando Jr. the 4th, and now past Ray Lane. That's Trevor Earhart. He's up to the 5th position. See what he can do. Is he got Nick Alves and Justice Murphy here battling as they go through the trial.
You definitely gotta want to keep an eye on that 25. He's 2 points at the end of the stage. He was 2 points in the good, but now with those 3 positions, that actually looks like they either tie or he knocks him out by a point with the championship standing. So the 25 got to have an eye on that, and he knows he needs to get up to at least the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr. to make 1 more point. But here we are looking at the 99 of Dylan Walterman, finding the 29 it looks like there. So riding along here, coming out of 4. So these guys still side by side and still have their hands full, so these guys not giving in an inch and still racing hard.
Yeah, everybody definitely raced it hard here. This is the season finale, the closer to the end. It's going to be a special one for some driver here tonight. Finsler fought back from 2 tough races, closed the gap down at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Now he's closing the gap down for the lead. James Loveland, though, he's going to try everything in his power to hold him off. He's his teammates here with Trevor Earhart. The big thing we can't forget, though, is this run, they're going to have to make a pit stop at some point. I think you're going to have to push hard during this race here because you're not going to get too long of a run if you try to save too much. Right now, Finsler using the tires. It proves he's trying to get to the lead here and drive away.
And the 89 of Matt Joe behind him, he's just kind of sitting there watching this, looking to make a move. The 27, Kevin Orlando Jr. up there in front, and then 5th place, Trevor Earhart. He's kind of back there. He's in the draft, though, so I think he can make a run, maybe get up through these guys. But this is definitely going to be interesting as we watch the 5 of Jason Fensler go around the outside of the 56. Teammates is of Trevor Earhart as he makes the pass coming out of 2. Matt Job right hot on his heels, also looking to make a pass on the 56.
Yeah, Job trying to follow through the 5. The 56 of Loveland, he's done a good job of leading most of the night. But this time, though, he's got some new competitors. Also, Kevin Orlando Jr., he's picked up a lot of speed here late in the going at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The 5 of Jason Fensler out front, though, trying to set sail. Trevor Earhart, though, he's got Ray Lane all over him. Earhart, it looks like he's saving a little bit here, but the only problem I worry about that is these are going to be shorter runs, in my opinion. We're not going to see too long of a run here. This could be a mistake here to be going this slow.
It's going to be interesting. We usually see these cars start to taper off at, lap 10 to 12 or so, so maybe he's saving it a little bit. There's going to be a lot of strategies we saw in the last stage. Do you cut it in half? Do you run it as long as you can and try and get tires later on in the run? I think a lot of these drivers are thinking of that. Maybe Trevor Earhart's thinking he can make it last a little bit longer and maybe make the pass and maybe make up some time on these guys in front. Jason Fensler especially, as he's being 2 points down. It looks like at the point they may be tied. So definitely a point situation for 25 for Trevor Earhart.
That's a close battle all the way down to the checker flag. It's going to be Trevor Earhart, though. He's got some digging to do for sure, as he's right now in that 5th position. Leader Jason Fensler, if it was in this way, would be the championship, no doubt for sure, as he's been able to get the lead. And one thing also critical, I think, looking back late into the last run, he was, Fensler was not bad compared to James Loveland. So if he can utilize this clean air, and Loveland can't, utilize it like he did out front, holding Ray Lane off, it could be Fensler able to hold on to this victory, even though he's not the strongest on the long run we've seen earlier in this race. That clean air, very, very critical.
It's critical, yes. I definitely want to. It helps with the aerodynamics, keeps that front end of the car down, but the 56 not letting the 5 out. In fact, the top 6 have all kind of gotten up on each other as the 25 is on the back bumper of the 27. Kevin Orlando Jr., as he looks to the outside, going into 3, coming out of 4. So Trevor Earhart looks like these guys getting bunched up. He's going to help him try and make a pass coming down the front stretch.
Earhart trying to get it done. The 25, he goes to the outside of the 27 of Orlando Jr. It's all going to be about this for the championship here. Now he drives around the outside. Does not have to win this race. He should be 2 points up when we started this stage. If Fensler doesn't win and he can get back to at least 3rd, he will still win the championship. So he's still got to keep that in mind. He's back up to 4th. He's got the 89 of Job next. And if Loveland can get back by Fensler, that puts him in a good spot.
That's when you're definitely rooting for your own teammate ahead of you. It's like, oh, go ahead and pass that guy. Go for the win. That's what Trevor Earhart's doing in his cockpit right now. He definitely wants to get Fensler out of that lead spot and knock him down so he doesn't get those 5 bonus points for a race win. Definitely interesting as they go down the backstretch. It looks like the Trevor Earhart is going to make a couple of small gains on the 89 down the backstretch. So definitely a kind of chess match as he's methodically moving along and slowly picking up time and knocking down those tenths of a second, bit by bit.
Yeah, right here is definitely 2 different approaches for these drivers. As we look at Walterman battling back here for position with Eddie Wilderman from the 26. Looks like Walterman going to get that pass done, slide himself back up to the 8th position where he started, and Eddie Wilderman back to 9th. But man, what a wild night we've had so far. It's closing down for that gap between our top contenders in the points. It's going to get really, really wild here in the final 30 laps of this race. Thank you everybody for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't yet, make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. Also hit that subscribe and bell notification button so you can be notified each and every time we go live here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, where we bring the best sim racing action in all of iRacing, I gotta say. So thank you to all of our loyal fans and loyal viewers out there. But if you want to become one of those, make sure you hit that subscribe and bell notification button to be notified each and every time we go live, as We're 30 laps to go here, Carl, man. Finsler out front. Trevor Earhart closing the gap down to Job now and even to Finsler. Can he get it done? This would be a underdog story for this 25 if he can close it down here in the late goings.
And definitely huge as the 25 looks to make the pass on the 89 and Matt Job easily coming out of 2, but James Loveland is heating up the bumper of Jason Fensler. The 56 and the 25 are teammates, so definitely if the 56 was able to get around Jason Fensler, hold off the lead, and if Trevor Earhart were to finish right behind Jason Fensler, second and third respectively, he would still win the championship. So definitely on James Loveland to try and make a move here on Jason Fensler as he go into turn 1, coming out of 2, definitely heating him up down the backstretch. Trevor Earhart slowly getting them close together, so definitely wants to see some side-by-side action with the 56 and the 5, so maybe slow each other down and give him a chance to catch up.
This is definitely going to give that 25 a shot for sure if he can get his teammate and him ballot. And Loveland looking real strong in the dirty air, able to follow right on the back bumper of the 5, even make a quick look to the inside here in 1. Can he make this work? Don't think it's going to work this time, but Finsler definitely going to have something to look at in his mirror. He can't look too far behind that. Also, that's the 25 of Earhart. He's flying at the moment.
Definitely a huge point is that I think the fuel window is just open. So if they pit now and get some fuel, they can probably finish the rest of the race on on fuel. So do you think people kind of cut it short, excuse me, and maybe get some now and while things are spread out? Do you kind of wait till you end it and try and go as far as you can and see where you end up at the end of a fuel run?
Oh, man, that's a good question. Here's the battle. Heats up for the lead. Loveland, he's going to make the pass down here in 3 and 4. This is a critical phase of this race here. Finsler back to second. This will put Earhart in the championship position. This is where now we question, when do they pit? 25 to go next time by. When is going to be the early time to pit? I think the window opens up this lap and then closes around 105. We're going to have a 10-lap window here, drivers pitting. I would not wait too long, but if I'm the 25, I stick to what the 5 does.
Indefinitely. You've been able to catch up to him. You seem to be faster, a little more consistent as the 5 got passed by the 56 just now. So definitely interesting. I think the 25 does have the long run car. So I would definitely follow the 5 into pit road. But here we are. Looks like the 5 is going to fall back at the 56, but the 25 slowly reeling him in. So here we go. 25 to go here at the championship race for the Underdog Racing League, and it is heating up right now as it stands. The 25 is the championship leader by 1 point, even though he is behind the second place of Jason Fensler. So here we go, coming out of 4, and looks like that gap has gotten even smaller. So Trevor definitely looking to make that pass and be a little more certain about his championship win here.
With 24 to go, our championship is separated by 3 car lengths. The 25 has closed it down. He has been driving the wheels off that thing as James Loveland has looked strong out front. But we want to give a special shout out here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting to one of our proud sponsors and partners that we love to see joined on board here, and that is Advanced Sim Racing. They're founded in 2020, and they're the fastest growing North American racing simulator chassis manufacturer and digital motorsports equipment retailer. You can head on over to their website and check out their equipment and use our discount code FreakyFast5 to get 5% off of all Advanced Sim Racing branded products. So make sure you head on over there if you're looking to get advanced with your sim racing. So thank you, Advanced Sim Racing, for being a proud sponsor here. 23 to go, coming to 22. The battle for the championship heating up. Fensler right in front of the 25 as Loveland starts to drive away. This is going to be critical.
And this is huge. We have the 25 on the bumper, the 5 to get 1 more position, 1 more point as his teammate, the 56, leads the race. But looks like we already have some green flag pits starting to happen. We have some of the cars further back on, maybe hoping they can get a jump on these other cars and see how that happens. So already the strategy playing into view as we watch a 25 go to the inside of Jason Fensler. Looks like he's running the middle line there coming out of 4. So looks like he's going to make that pass comfortably past the 5. So here we go. Ray Lane right back there, as you see in the 44, hoping to make another capitalization on the pass of Jason Fensler.
What a move. Trevor Earhart now out in front of the 5 machine. He restarted way back in the clutches, back in the 8th spot, had to fall back doing the saving fuel. It didn't matter though. He's able to drive himself back up in position, and also Ray Lane now threatening Jason Finsler. Finsler definitely feeling the brunt of using those tires early in the going to get that lead. It is all falling away for him here with 20 to go. When will they hit pit road is the big question. They're going to have to hit it one more time. Finsler, though, I think he's going to have to go for the undercut. The overcut just not going to probably work here for him.
Definitely not. Now that he's behind the 25, it just will not work. Oh, did the 25 just get into the wall? Coming out of turn 2. Once again, turn 2 wall striking. I don't see a lot of damage, but definitely was some maybe pressure contact. Definitely slowed him down as we see the 5. Oh, as the 25 and the 5 make their way into pit road. 4 green flag stops. Man, that was really fast on entrance. Did he speed coming in? We will have to see as the 25 and the 5 are championship contenders make pit road. Looks like all top 3 cars at the moment made pit road. So here we go. Green flag stops beginning.
And this is it. Don't slide through your box. And the 25 does. He slides through just a little bit, has to back up. That could be the critical mistake here with 19 to go. He's going to have to dig to keep ahead of this 5 machine. Everybody hitting pit road there. I think everybody was good on their speed, and there it is. There's the big difference. It's a huge one. James Loveland, though, able to exit with it, and Jason Finsler, he's been good on the short run. It's going to be hard to get this back. 18 to go. Trevor Earhart going to be down multiple seconds here to the number 5 machine. It could be the mistake of the season for him.
This could be huge, but if James Loveland came out in front of that train, so if he can at least, when this cycles through, if he can kind of stay in the lead and Trevor Earhart can stay in 3rd, that still technically leaves the points in Trevor Earhart's favor. So maybe not quite an alarm state yet, but 18 laps that is on that verge of the short run, long run. So whose car will prevail? We have 17 laps to discover.
This is going to be so wild to watch. Now Earhart making his way through past Stunner, going to the outside of Heights down the back straightaway. He's going to have so much time to make up. It's almost half a corner. That just shows you what one small mistake on pit road can do. 1 second on the track is a mistake on pit road can equal to big mistakes on the track here. 16 to go. It's going to be tough for Earhart.
NASCAR is definitely a sport of inches, and he just overshot that his pit stall just by a couple of inches, and like you said, cost him a ton of time. But looks like he is smooth coming out of pit road. He's making passes on some of these cars with old tires, so if he keeps his head cool, he has a shot. So just needs to keep it under control, keep looking forward, and just know he's not out of it yet. He just needs to keep driving and keep digging.
Well, one thing we cannot forget, he does not need to be ahead of Jason Finsler. He needs his teammate James Loveland, though, every lap to be perfect to stay ahead of that 5. The 56 cannot let the 5 get ahead. If Finsler wins this race and the 25 finishes in 3rd, the championship goes to Finsler. If it finishes with the 56 out front, the 5 in 2nd, and the 25 in the 3rd position, it'll be the champion. That's going to be the way we're going to have to look about this. It's going to be really wild all the way down to the end here.
Not only that, but we have, with the green flag pit stops and all these different strategies, we have a ton of traffic these lead lap cars are going to have to kind of maneuver around and navigate. So on top of everything that's happened, fuel strategy, tires, points and stuff, we have to deal with the lap traffic too. So this is going to be huge as we are looking along with the 89 and Matt Job. He's getting out and crossing the finish line. He's down there in 2nd at the moment. I don't think he's made that stop. So Justin Stunner still leading. He still has yet to stop. So it's not over yet. Trevor Earhart looks like he's running right behind Finsler. So still 13 laps to go in this championship race on Las Vegas.
Yeah, the big thing is going to be if Trevor Earhart can get through this traffic ahead of him. He's going to have Ray Lane, the 27 of Kevin Rolando Jr., the 26 of Eddie Wildermuth, and the 24 of Alves. And that is going to be what makes this all very, very wild here coming down to the end with 13 to go. Stunner still out front, has yet to pit. Same or Job has hit pit road, but he pitted way earlier than anybody. Here comes Stunner now. So now everybody has hit pit road that has hit it. And I tell you what, this is going to be a run to the end, 13 laps for the championship.
And here we are, the 25 gaining up on the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr. I think he only took a couple of tires. I think he only took 2 tires, his outside tires this last pit stop, because he was a little further back than that. So I wonder if there's some more strategy. We have 24, Nick Alves in front, but not by much. So he definitely has to get by a couple of these cars. 12 laps to go. I think he can do it on 4 tires. I don't think those 2 tires are going to last, but definitely causing issues and causing Trevor Earhart to fall even further behind the 5.
Oh, man, this is getting critical here. Coming to 12 to go. Right now, though, the big thing for the 25, he needs to get by all of these drivers here, but also he's going to have to get by Matt Job in the 89. If Job falls behind the 56 and the 5 machine and gets in between the 25, once he gets past this traffic, he needs to make sure he finishes third. Third is the only thing that is going to work if Jason Fensler finishes second. This right here, guys, got my blood, my heart, everything racing right now. I cannot believe this. Earhart just clips the wall, but here goes Ray Lane up the track. Earhart, though, very slight touch. I think that car's good. He needs to dig.
He is digging, Zach. He is racing hard through these guys. These 2 tires cannot hold a match to him. It has slowed him down a little bit, but he's now making his way and picking his way through. Goes to the inside of the 44 of Ray Lane. That gives him 4th, right behind Fensler. So still points in Trevor Earhart's favor. Will that last? Will Matt Job stay in front? James Loveland in 2nd. Jason Fensler in 4th. Ray Lane right there. He looks to make the pass. So there he is. Trevor Earhart makes the pass on Ray Lane. So definitely interesting. And once again, the 25 of Trevor Earhart right behind in position of the 5 of Jason Fensler.
Oh, man, 9 to go. This is going to be so critical. Job back to 3rd. Does Earhart run Job down is the question. Can we see him do it? It's going to be the position that matters the most. I think Loveland, he said, he's put the afterburners on here with 9 to go. He's told Fensler, I'm going to win this race. I'm not letting you get this championship from my teammate. Earhart, though, is going to have to do everything in his power to close it down, man. This is going to get wild, everybody.
It looks like Trevor Earhart is about 2.5 seconds behind Matt Job. Matt Job on older tires. He did tend to pit a couple laps earlier than Trevor Earhart. 8 to go. Trevor Earhart just putting a blazing pace down on the track right now. So definitely, but he is not alone as the 44 Ray Lane still behind him, kind of trailing him. But here he is. He's about 4 seconds back from the lead, James Loveland. He needs to make the pass on Matt Job for this championship win.
Yeah, and he cannot look far behind. Ray Lane right there. Also, he's been looking actually pretty feisty in the 44 machine on those 2 tires. We could see if he gets involved in this, that's where it gets so critical. Earhart has to hold these guys off. He has to get by Job with 7 to go. He's closing the gap on Job. It's going to be, can he get by him without the 44 getting by? This is going to be the race for the championship. I don't think Fensler's going to have enough, though, because the gap's opening up between him and Loveland.
And we know Jason Fensler doesn't have the long run car, and with 6 to go, they pit with right around 20 to go, so we're about 14 laps in the run. I think those tires are about to go, and Jason Fensler, that short run speed is going to start to fade. Trevor Earhart does have that long run speed as we're watching. He has the 89 of Matt Job in his sights. He's only about less than a second back. He's made up nearly a second and a half in just like 3 or 4 laps. So Trevor Earhart definitely looking to make this pass on the 89 of Matt Job to get him right behind Fensler in the position, but ahead of him in the points of the championship standings.
Oh, this is going to all play back to that first stage, finishing 1 position, possibly ahead of Fensler. 5 to go. The 25 making the charge. He's going to be looking to be crowned the champion here tonight. He comes down the back straightaway. Big run from the 25. He makes the pass. Could it be the pass for the championship? We'll have to see. There he is up the 3rd. They're going to be coming to 4 to go. Loveland opening the gap up for the lead. This is all playing out the way Earhart needed it to work.
4 to go. We have James Loveland in 1st, Jason Fensler in 2nd, Trevor Earhart in 3rd, but don't let that fool you. Trevor Earhart right now, as this stands, would be 1 point ahead of Jason Fensler in the championship. If he can keep this, if the field stays like this with 4 to go, Trevor Earhart, despite being 3rd behind Jason Fensler, will win this championship for the Underdog Racing League.
What a story it would be at Underdog finish for sure. I tell you what, coming to 3 to go. He can't look far behind though. Ray Lane, he is not making it easy on the 25. He's definitely going to test everything here as he's got a big run on the front straightaway here, down to 1 and 2, 3 to go. Can Earhart just hold this position? He needs everything he can here. So the 44 goes to the bottom. He's looking for the run.
Oh, it doesn't look like 44 can hold that bottom, though. The high side has had the speed, but Trevor Hart's been running that line. Every time 44 tends to go a little low, looks like the 44 is going to try and go a little bit one lane higher than the 25, but still will not have the speed. The 25 holds off the 44 for one more lap. 2 to go at the Underdog Racing League Championship season finale.
Oh, this is going to be the critical move here. The leader up front, James Loveland's opened the gap to Fensler, but the 44, Ray Lane, he needs to get this position if Jason Fensler wants to win this championship. The 25 needs to hold him off for the championship. It's down to 3 and 4. Loveland's going to round out a turn 4 here. We're going to be looking to throw up the freaky fast white flag for 1 to go here this season at the Underdog Racing League. The battle for the 3rd position is what we're watching. It's going to be for the championship. 25 of Earhart trying to hold off the 44. Can he do it here in the final moments?
Man, the 25 is diving really hard into the corner, trying to stave off the 44 of Ray Lane, but Ray Lane is not giving him any space. Coming down the back straightaway, going into 3, 44 on the bumper with the 25. Going into 3, they take the high lane. Ray Lane going just a little bit higher, trying to get a little bit of air as the checkered flag waves for James Loveland. Jason Fensler passing 25, and Trevor Earhart takes 3rd spot and the championship win of the Underdog Racing League here at Las Vegas.
What a move for Earhart, able to hold him off there, the 44 Ray Lane. That could be the critical move. We say unofficially he is the champion, everybody. We will get official results here as soon as possible. But, man, we think that is enough for the 25 to get it done in the 5, and I think it may be only separated by 1 point this season. What a season, what an end to the championship. I'm speechless, guys. Everybody out here, I think, is definitely speechless, and I think even Trevor Earhart knows he's the champion, too, because I believe he's coming down here to do some burnouts with his teammate James Loveland. I'm sure he had all the situations played out in his mind already.
That was magnificent racing. Love Las Vegas. Multiple lines as we see a donut from the 56, James Loveland, our race winner, but the 25, unofficially our championship winner. So we have some donuts by the 56, and it looks like 25 may wait for a little bit of confirmation of that championship win. But here we are, 25, Trevor Earhart's Xfinity Series Underdog Racing League here at Las Vegas. Finishes 3rd in the race, but finishes 1st in the championship as the teammates look to go nose to nose and do a dual burnout. This will be fun to watch.
Oh man, what a sight. What a crazy race. What a valiant effort from Jason Fensler, though. We got to give it to that man. He did not look good in the practice sessions, did not have a great qualifying session, drove his way up through the field, just comes up 1 spot short possibly of that championship. I think Earhart's still waiting for confirmation, though, on this championship before he celebrates, but he's sitting down here still. We're going to find out what is all transpiring here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a few moments before we get our drivers up here, so we'll be back here in a few minutes as we figure out everything working out here in the championship and talk to our top 3 drivers since they're all involved in this championship battle, and then we'll have a special chat with one of the admins here. We'll be right back. All right, we are back here, everybody, here for our post-race interviews. As you can see, our second place man, Jason Finsler, we're going to get to talk to him first, as it is confirmed. 1 point will be what Jason Finsler comes up short here tonight for the championship. Just an unfortunate scene for him here, as we'll bring him down to chat about his second place finish here tonight. Hey, Jason, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, Jason, what a valiant effort it was for yourself tonight, my friend. I tell you what, you come up just 1 point short, it seems, from the word we're getting on the championship, man. But wow, take us through your race, because what a strong comeback it was for you after a poor qualifying session.
Yeah, the car just didn't have speed for some reason. And then come around the race, it had good short run speed, but it was kind of hurting a little bit on the long run. So, but it was, I mean, I can't be disappointed with the season. It was a great season. I think we ended up with 9 wins. Just, those playoff races, when you give up points like that, it's going to cost you. But Trevor's a heck of a competitor. I really respect him, and congratulations to him. It was well earned.
Yeah, man, it was a dogfight down to the end between you two, man. You come back at Nashville last week and brought it down within 5, and here all tonight we were calculating points as it goes. That second stage with the fuel saving y'all had to do through a huge different curve into it. It was wild from us up here in the booth, man. Kind of, give us your thoughts from, from the car. I mean, you come down pit road behind him, entering pit road there as that final pit stop. He actually makes the mistake. Then, do you kind of have it all added out in your head already that you knew you kind of had to win, or do, get better than second?
Well, I mean, the only guarantee is if you win, you win this championship. So, I mean, that's what we were going for. At that second stage, saving fuel, hindsight, I probably could have actually ran hard the last couple of laps and been okay, and that could have been a difference, right? But can't Monday morning quarterback it. It is what it is. But it was a good season. I can't complain. But yes, I was watching that deal, but I just figured my best chance was to go out and max points and win races. So that's the way we looked at this race.
Well, man, I tell you what, like I said, it was a valiant effort, my friend. You did everything in your power here tonight and put on a good show for us. It was a great season, like you said. You performed just as well as you did in your championship season before, so we can't wait to see what you can do back here again at the Underdog Race League, man. It's always been a pleasure to call you, Jason. Congrats on second here tonight and second in the championship. Before I let you get out of here, man, for this season, and get ready for next season. Anybody wants to shout to?
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to next season. I think it'll be a lot of fun. The competition's good, but shout out to my parents. My dad's a little bit under the weather, so shout out to him. They're always huge supporters of mine. My mom is probably my #1 fan, but friends and family that tune in, it's been a lot of fun, and look forward to next year. We're going to come back. We're going to be in Chevrolets next year, and we're going to change up paint scheme, so stay tuned.
Awesome stuff, man. Well, Jason, thank you for the great season, man. Congrats on the great run here tonight. We'll see you next season, buddy.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, everybody. That was your second place man points and second place driver in the race, Jason Finsler. What a season it was. Like you said, 9 wins in our 20 races. Another dominant season. But like you said, playoff hole he had to dig out of was just insurmountable. But what a job it was by him to get it within 1 point here in the final laps of this race. But now we'll move on to our race winner, a critical race win. I'm sure a happy driver with his teammate Trevor Earhart. 56 to James Loveland closes out our 1.5 mile here, winning once again here in the 56 machine. Let's hear from Loveland. Hey, James, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, James, man, what a critical race it was here tonight. You came in here tonight tied for that 4th position in points, 37 back. So points wise, it was not looking, very optimal for you to have a shot at this thing. But man, what a show you put on with the speed you had, and also coming back to look at it, it comes very critical to your teammate making the championship. How does that feel? And man, what a race there coming down to the end. That had to be nerve wracking.
Yeah, that was a pretty exciting ending there. Once I got out of the pit road at the last pit stop, I had to be ahead of Fensler, and I had to hold him off for Trevor to even have a chance. And I told him with like 15 to go, I was like, dude, you got to get up to 3rd place if you're going to win this thing. I said, I'll do my best to hold him off. And sure enough, we did the night. And yeah, we pulled off the win and the championship. And I believe the team championship too. I'm not really sure yet.
Yeah, I believe you guys also pulled that off too, James. So man, what what a job there in the final few races, and at the end of the playoffs for your team able to pull it all together, man. Not a championship for you tonight, but like you said, championship for the team here. It seems like too. So that's a great thing to go into next season, man. You look good again here once again, winning another mile and a half. Your last time we seen you win was at Chicagoland, so another mile and a half there. Man, how you feel about going into next season? Always looking strong in that 56. You think you could possibly get yourself in that championship position next season?
Well, we'll see how things go. I might be running part time just due to other things in life, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I might change my mind and come back and run full time. But if I do, yeah, I'm gonna. I've learned a lot this season. I've learned a lot the season before, and I'll take that and try to come back and be stronger.
Well, James, it's been fun watching you guys battle each and every week here this season. Man, what a great win it was here for you tonight. Again, a team championship and also your teammate getting the championship. Before we let you get out here and get ready for next season, anybody want to send a shout out to my friend?
Yeah, shout out to you guys as always for the great broadcasts. Shout out to Underdog for this letting us run this league. It was a great season. Had a great time, and shout out to our team. I did not think we were going to pull off anything today, but we pulled off all three. So that's great.
Well, man, I tell you what, it was definitely a great performance tonight for the team. Congrats on the win. We will catch you next season, though, James.
Yeah, thanks, guys, and congrats to Trevor on the championship.
All righty, everybody. That was your race winner here tonight, James Loveland here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway and the season finale here at the Underdog Racing League. But now we're going to move on to our championship driver, the 25 Trevor. Man, what a drive it was here tonight under such pressure. Let's hear from the man himself who brought it home third tonight, but he's going to be our champion. Trevor Earhart and Zach in the booth. You got a copy, man.
I do. How's it going?
Man, I tell you what, this is one of my favorite things to do, Trevor, in all of broadcasting. And man, I'm here to congratulate you, buddy, on being the champion here tonight in the Underdog Racing League here in the Xfinity Series. I mean, what a performance it was in this playoffs to get this championship. But man, oh man, just take me through the nerve-wracking feeling that had to be in those last 14 to 15 laps. We see you hit pit road. We see you go to the box. I say, don't slide through it. And barely slid through it. That had to definitely up the heart rate, I imagine, and up the anxiety. Take us through that, and then holding off Ray Lane also, man.
Oh, it was devastating. I was so mad at myself because I was really good getting onto pit road, and didn't speed, and that was the key. And all I knew is I had to get into my box, get out, and in about 5 laps I would be about the same pace as James and Finsler because they had a better short run speed than I did. And man, I slid through it, and I was like, "This is it. That was the mistake that's going to cost me this." And I did everything in my power to drive that car and wheel that car back up to third, and we pulled it off in those last 2 or 3 laps there with Ray. I mean, he was ripping the fence pretty good through 3 and 4, and I was running kind of the middle, and so he'd get the better exit off. And the last lap, he had to run on me down the front straightaway, and I just threw it into turn 1 and 2 and prayed that it stuck and I wouldn't hit the wall. And we made it through 1 and 2, made it through 3 and 4, and then got to the line. And after that, I was pretty calm. And then they were like, "Well, we don't know what's going on in the points," and then it got really nervous again. So, but I mean, what a great season. Jason, I mean, he dominated us. But at the end of the day, I mean, I was just happy to be able to race up there with him, and be able to put on a battle there and race clean. And I mean, we made it exciting. It was great. The whole playoffs were exciting. I mean, it was up and down for all of us. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm just kind of at a loss for words, man. I'm just so happy. Congratulations to Loveland, my teammate, for winning. I think we won the team championship as well, so it's kind of a double whammy.
Yeah, man, it definitely a double whammy there for sure. But the best about this, we talked about Jason Finsler, 9 wins this season, through the 20 races. Again, another dominant season after last season, doing pretty much the same thing. I think he had at least 10 or 11 last season, so he kind of picked up that same way. But man, what an underdog story I would say it is for the championship in this playoffs, man. To come out here in the 25. to get it done in the final 4 races. I mean, tonight, especially, you were the fastest car on the long run. We called it all night long. The 25 was moving as the runs went on. And I mean, you definitely had to be so calm, cool, and collected. I mean, especially racing a guy that dominant. How tough is that? I mean, he is so tough to beat.
Oh yeah, I mean he dominates the league, and I in those races where he dominates, I just try to follow and learn as much as I can from him. And I mean, he's such a great guy. I mean, he'll talk to you, he'll tell you what he's doing, he'll help you out. But I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better person to race against for a championship than him. I mean, that's the guy you got to beat week in and week out. And throughout the playoffs, we each had our moments. I mean, he had a couple bad runs. I won Road America, which obviously I had to do to be in this position, and he had a bad race. And then those last 3 after that, it was kind of a back and forth who finished ahead of who until we got to here, and we were just able to hold on just enough to get it done.
Yeah, man, it was a beautiful story. We were we were on the edge of our seats up in the booth. We were hoping our math was right, and luckily it did check out with my math I was doing on the fly. So, man, I just got to congratulate you once more on an epic season, nonetheless. But just an epic way to end it, and just in classic fashion, 1 point separating you guys. That we couldn't ask for something better than this. And man, I like I said, congratulate and just give a shout out to anybody you think that deserves one here tonight. Because man, what a championship season it's been for you, buddy.
Shout out to you guys for the broadcasts and making them entertaining. Shout out to everybody in the league for making the races as good as they are. Um, a shout out to Jason for being the competition, and pushing me to be better. Shout out to the Earhart Group, Bank of Oklahoma, Bogey in the Weeds, all my sponsors for being on the car. Shout out to Justin and all the other admins that run the league. And all my friends and family that are at home watching this right now. Shout out to those guys for supporting me and cheering me on for the season. So, man, what a season this was.
Definitely was, buddy. I tell you, what, congrats again. Let it soak in and enjoy this one, man. We'll catch you again next season, buddy.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
You too, man. All right, everybody. That's your champion here tonight at the Underdog Race League. Trevor Earhart. What a drive it was from him in that 25 machine. But before we get away from our post race interviews and get to the race results, we want to bring up here our league owner Justin Stunner to get a talk with him about the season and what's going on next season here at the Underdog Race League, and give us a tale of what we got to look forward coming here in the next few weeks. So let's go ahead and bring Justin up here in the booth and have a chat with him real quick. Hey, Justin, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
What up, big guy?
Well, man, I tell you what, a great ending to the season, man. 2 points, it seems like, separating the top 2 in the championship with Trevor Earhart pulling it off, man. We're going to bring you up here in the booth. And, first of all, what are your thoughts about this season, man? And what do we have to look forward to for next year or next season?
Dude, that was a hell of a way to finish the season, right? 2 points separating our champion from the guy who won the most races. It's kind of like Chase Elliott 2 years ago. Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, first things first, we want to thank you guys here at Freaky Fast for going all out and getting us onto the iRacing live page and everything you do with the broadcast. We also want to thank David Buell and Ultimate Siding for the sponsorship that they give us. It's fantastic that he stuck with us and still races with us. And then Trevor, obviously that was awesome playoff win for him, right? So unbelievable way to go out, and it's his first championship in the league, so that's really cool for him. And then we come back with our clash on December 22nd at Rockingham, so be ready for a little bit of the rock, right? Bringing back an old track that hopefully NASCAR brings back in the real world, and we'll bring some fun stages and all that fun stuff that we like to do and make things a little bit more interesting. And we'll be running the Xfinity cars again, so hopefully we'll have some nice fun side-by-side racing for everybody. And then finally, we want to thank all your viewers, right? Everybody that makes a Wednesday trip of us. It means a lot to have you guys watching us. And if you want to become an underdog, check out the Facebook, man, and come run with us in a recruit race. Join us, have fun, get on that broadcast. You guys do a great job. So we really wanted to thank you guys.
Oh man, we first off got to thank you guys for putting on such a great season for us, sharing these Xfinity cars. That's exciting news to hear the Xfinity cars coming back. This car is put on a show each and every week for us here. It's been really, really fun to watch it, man. I love the name here, the Underdog Racing League, and also, it kind of feels great to see Trevor Earhart even pull this one off with that one victory compared to Jason Finsler's 9. Such an underdog story. I think it just adds to the whole thing. If, like you said, Justin, if anybody out there is interested in racing on Wednesday nights, this is the place to do it for sure, man. And we can't wait to come back here next season.
Oh, we're excited, man. We appreciate it. So you guys do you, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All righty, Justin, you have a great night, man, and we will catch you in a few weeks, buddy.
You too, man. Take care.
All right, everybody. That was your league owner, Justin Stunner, here at the Underdog Racing League. What great, kind words from him there as we look forward to the next season as Trevor Earhart closes out the season as our champion here tonight. And it was 2 points, actually, as I looked at the points. I mean, what a great job by him there. So even if Ray Lane would have got around him, technically he still would have won. But man, what added pressure that added, you never know around the end of these things. So man, we look now at our race results here tonight for the season finale here at round number 20 of the Underdog Racing Xfinity Series. James Lovell going to bring home that 4th victory of the season. What a job by him there to bring it home. Jason Fields going to bring it home 2nd in the points and 2nd in the race tonight, as your 3rd place man, Trevor Earhart, is going to bring home that championship. 4th is going to go to Ray Lane. 5th place there, around out your top 5 is going to be Matt Jobe, with 6th is Nick Alves. 7th is going to go to Kevin Orlando Jr. 8th is going to go to Dylan Walterman. 9th is going to go to Christopher Heights. And rounding out your Freaky Fast top 10 is Eddie Wildermuth. As you look through the rest of the field here tonight, what a season it has been. Such a great way to close it out at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Underdog Racing League. Trevor Earhart able to bring it home as your champion and close out a wild and epic 20 race season. We can't wait for the next one to get kicked off. But Carl, any final thoughts about the season and tonight's race?
No, just amazing racing, amazing bunch of guys, a lot of talent, a lot of good, clean fun going on. And what a track to have the season finale at Las Vegas. Who would have thought, a mile and a half would put out such great racing, but man, we were on our seats through the whole thing. So this has just been a fun season, and great fun to be with you, Zach, and with Robert in the production booth. So a lot of fun this year.
That it has been, Carl. Glad that you could join us along the way, man. You've done a great job and have definitely picked up your game as this season has went on, my friend. So thank you for joining us in the booth. It's been a fantastic time throughout the whole season. I got to congratulate all these drivers who competed throughout the whole entire 20-week season. It's been a pleasure to call the action out here on the racetrack each and every week, and we can't wait to be back here at the Underdog Racing League. But again, thank you all. It's been a special night. Trevor Earhart is your champion. We're all going to be celebrating to that to the next few weeks while we get ready for the season to kick off. But we're going to send it to Robert Moyer Jr., our producer, to close out tonight's broadcast and close out tonight's season also.
Whew, okay, well, long 20-week season here with the Underdog Racing League, and I note on everything that Carl and Zach, you said, man, what a race. Congratulations to Trevor. Becoming the underdog, basically, like you guys said. It's tough to beat Jason. He is on his game week in and week out, and he finally did it. He finally got the win, and then win the championship. I mean, that is just something so hard to do. A lot of these leagues out there and just drivers, you battle week in and week out, and things happen, and to come home a championship, It's tough. It is really tough, ladies and gentlemen. So, like I said, congratulations to him. He finally did it. And now we'll see if he can carry that momentum on to next season. Like Justin said, we'll be back here for their next season in the Xfinity cars. We'll be off for a couple Wednesdays, but we'll be back at the Rock, and that's going to be fun to see. They're going to have the Rock, and it's going to be the Clash race December 22nd at 8:30, as always. So hopefully everybody tunes into the rest of the races that we have throughout the week here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting until we get rolling back up on Wednesday night. So hopefully everybody, enjoys the content and hits that like button and share button. And, like I always like to say, it's just one click, ladies and gentlemen, and share it to your favorite social media platform of your choosing so your friends and family and and your neighbors and your dog and your cat or whoever you want to watch what you do, week in and week out and on the other nights, because a lot of these drivers just don't race at Underdog. They race also throughout the week here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and so you can go out and root them on any other night. But with that being said, our next televised broadcast will be tomorrow night. Stars and Stripes starts back up. Get ready for that as we head off to the Daytona, and that's going to be fun to watch what these guys can do in the Cup cars, as last season they were in the Xfinity cars, and now we're moving over to the Gen 6 Cup cars with them guys at Daytona as they start their season out with going to have Zach and Sam Dyer calling all the action as we go live at 9:20. So it's a little later here at Freaky Fast, but 9:20. So make sure you tune in and give us a hi and share that to your friends and family. It helps us out. But with that being said, season comes to an end here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Congratulations again to Trevor for getting the championship. And what a battle from all these drivers. But until tomorrow night at 9:20, Carl, Zach, and me like to say to everybody out there, God bless you. Love yous all. Peace out.